Greetings, my fellow freedom lovers, sovereign thinkers. Thank you for tuning in to LO3 Podcast. My name is Craig, transmitting from the beautiful swampy mangroves of South Florida, and today's date is Thursday, February 11th, 2021. I know a couple of individuals have passed away. Chick Correa, great jazz musician, and Larry Flynt, founder of Hustler magazine, and one of the greatest innovators when it comes to free speech. I admire both these men dearly. The musicianship from Chick Correa was beautiful. Well done. Electric, acoustic, don't matter. Always enjoyed the style of music. Yes, I have listened to him. And I love metal and hardcore as well. I can do that. Always been eloquent. And his post was very beautiful. He thanked all his fans and all the people in the music industry, all the musicians he played with. It was homage till he passed. And Larry Flynt, you was a go-getter, a hustler. Name says it all. I'm not a big fan of a lot of his material. But some of his work, when it comes to free speech, he knew how to push the buttons. And I admire that dearly. These two men will be remembered on their principles, whether if you agree with it or not. That's how we all have to live. We all have a purpose. Folks out there, what's yours? I know what mine is. We all have different avenues, different journeys. Fulfill them at the best of your ability. So that's very, really cool about that. Yeah, so a lot of my people who are fans of both those men are very disheartened, which is understandable. So, like I said, may their souls remain forever free. And who's going to be the next in line of being an innovator archetype? Or what do they call it? A bulldozer for liberty, creativity, etc. So I'm going to do a couple of articles. This one here just caught my eye. And one more, I think happy birthday to my friend Derek Alvarez. Haven't talked to you in a while, my friend. I love you. 47. Hey, Alex Jones' birthday, too. And congratulate my friend Dorothy Garrett for our beautiful baby girl. So, it's pretty damn cool. Yes, we're through obstacles, chaos, but we can't let our spiritual humanity perish or be compromised. So I'm going to be talking a couple things here. I'd like to thank one of my brothers that sent this to me. Always get good information from folks. And, hold on here. Let me just gotta do a little cleaning here. Boom, boom, boom. Alright, this came from the postmillennial.com. SPLC removes black separatist listing on hate map. Black dissent isn't black violence. So, I like this little quote here. The Southern Poverty Law Center has removed the black separatist listing on its extensive hate map to underscore that white supremacist extremism is the most dangerous threat to national security. But the Biden administration is exceptional, all right? I'm sorry. All these drama queens on parade, you know what I'm saying? Well, that's what Mia Cantel brought up. And it says it reads here, of course, support this website, Big tech continues censoring conservatives. Southern Party Lawson has removed black separatist listing on the extensive hate map to underscore that white supremacist extremism is the most dangerous threat to national security, while black separatism is rooted in valid concerns about how federal state institutions treat black people. Yay! I'm the oppressed because of my skin color. I'm just being sarcastic because it's so demented as usual. Okay, I want to continue on here. We're collapsing the black separatist listing on our hate map. The SPLC official Twitter account tweeted on Monday, black separatism was born out of valid anger against the very real historical and systemic oppression. Woo! I blame everyone else for hating you guys. It's all your fault. I'm a coward. I can't even look in the mirror. It's everyone but me. Give me a break. I love being, like I said, it's just so acidine as usual, okay? So it's interesting. So, of course, you have it right here, Year in Hate 2020. And, of course, they had a photo of Louis Farrakhan. The change to the SLPC hate map was announced by the SPLC Intelligence Project. You mean the Stupefied Project? On October 8th, as this organization sought to remove a false eloquence between white nationalists and black separatist hate groups, and to present the information about extremist groups more accurately and equitably. Oh, my heart feels so good now. Wanting separation from society that has historically and systematically oppressed black communities isn't extremism. The SPLC tweeted at the time, black dissent isn't black violence, and equivocating them enables this over-policing on black activism. Okay, so burn down the system! Burn the buildings down! Yay! You didn't say that out of hatred. You're trying to free us all. And I apologize for what I look like. Please, I accept my ethno guilt trip. I will continue. The SPLC's previous definition of black separatism shares language with federal attempts to criminalize black activism. The nonprofit said the organization declared that it rejects attempts by federal authorities to use involvement of black separatists in social activism as justification for over-policing activists in communities of color. Oh, so what happened to a lot of the folks at Occupy? Well, a lot of white people getting harassed. That's exceptional, right? And I'm not really too crazy on the people funding them, but not all the rank and file are not bad folks. Like every other movement I examine. So I'll be very sincere here. The SPLC specified that the organization rejects federal law enforcement's false and misleading contention regarding threats from black separatists. Contributing to a false dichotomy does not serve SPLC's mission of racial equity. The SPLC wrote. Charlton's on parade, right? There you can look at these tweets as well. According to the SPLC's holistic equity through accuracy updates, the hate maps restructuring will better capture the power of dynamics endemic to white supremacy. To white supremacy. The decision comes after many internal and external conversations. It is important to acknowledge the moment we are in, and the incredible efforts of groups such as the movement for Black Lives and the power of protest, despite the militarization of our police departments nationally. The memo reads, the continued police violence directed against the black community and lack of justice for their victims shows plainly the struggle for black lives is not over. Right out of the Karl Marx's playbook. The SPLC maintained that black separatist groups are very much part of activist spaces when they should be exposed and held accountable within the activist spaces they inhabited. The SPLC does not believe criminalizing and over-policing is an acceptable solution. The FBI once used the black identity extremist label to monitor types of domestic terrorism. This label is unfounded and it is itself a form of suppressing black activism and organizing. The SPLC rebutted, but in late 2017, the Bureau discontinues the term's usage. The SPLC's intelligence project hopes by dropping this listing that the organization can lead by example and be able to contribute a more accurate understanding of violent extremism, one that foregrounds white supremacist extremism as the most dangerous threat to national security. Yay! So if a good bunch of people from Black Lives Matter are darker than me, burn the place down, burn my belly, it's not dangerous, it's safety! Yay! Divination 101. The black separatist listings created a color line bias, separating hate and extremism by race and granting the appearance of a false equivalency of equal hate on both sides. The letter continued claiming that black Americans have rarely experienced the power structure that represents them. Wow! So all those poor white bastards in the Appalachian Mountain area, that's their privilege, right? Good grief, man! Sounds like who they mingle with. Louis Farrakhan, David Duke at the same time, and along with their sidekick Al Sharpton and what's that other clown's name? Richard Spencer. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just enjoying this crap. I'm sorry, folks. It is insulting indeed, okay, towards humanity. And, let's go here. The SPLC argue that black separatism is a response to white supremacy and white nationalism. Oh, really? So what happened in Rwanda 400 years ago was exceptional. Woo! They had been friction with one another for 400 years, folks. All right, so that's the political aspect of it, all right? So I want to continue on here. However, the movement received the same mainstream attention as white nationalism. The SPLC alleged that the black separatists do not have the overwhelming share of racially motivated violence attributed to their overall goals of separation. Yeah, some black nationalists have committed violence against Jewish communities, the SPLC admitted, but those are fueled by anti-Semitism, not separatism. Wow. So look at this double speak here, right? The organization reiterated that black separatism is rooted in valid concerns about how federal and state institutions treat black people. Hey, tell me in history where is such thing as good government? Even for the white folks, okay? The white Europeans, whether they're British descent, Irish, Hungarian, Austrian, Germanian, etc. Okay? Show that to me. They're all great, good government, right? Come on. Despite desiring separation from a society that has historically and systematically oppressed black communities is an extremism the SPLC pressed. The SPLC reinforced that it was founded on fight against institutionalized racism, acknowledging that while black separatist groups can be violently anti-white, this prejudice does not represent the same threat as white supremacy in America. Witch hunt is for wussies. Of course. You know, I know Morris D's probably still jerking off, you know what I'm saying? Masturbating on this stuff. This distinction helps to dispel my misinterpretations of our understanding on how racism functions in American society. The SPLC penned, in our endeavor for racial justice and equity, it is imperative that we adopt an understanding of racism grounded in nuisance and the realities of racial power dynamics. Racism in America is historical, systemic, and structural. While black separatism is the connecting threads of these groups, the movement doesn't illustrate the hate of their collective ideologies. The SPLC went on insisting that the placement of black separatists on its hate map next to the laundry list of violent white supremacist ideologies assumed the appearance of an equivalency that does not exist. The SPLC then noted that white nationalist groups, which are not categorized as one group, but differentiated according to the nuisance of their ideologies, are more numerous than their black separatist counterparts. Thus, from now, black separatist groups will be classified according to the anti-Semitic, anti-LGBTQ, misogynist, and xenophobia nature of their divisive ideologies that better describe the harm their rhetoric inflicts on marginalized demographics by authoritarian leadership. According to the organization's October press release on the matter, black separatists earned their place on the SPLC's hate map, not for their calls for separation, but how entrenched these groups are in hateful doctrine. We understand that the reclassification is long overdue, stated SPLC Chief of Staff Lashia Brooks via press statement. Our goal is to expose those groups without helping to aid law enforcement in this definition of black identity extremists. And this requires a change in tactics as to how we talk about these groups. Exceptionalism is my goal. The change to the aforementioned hate map was set to be reflected on the SPLC website once the organization released its annual Year in Hate Census report in early 2021. And there's, they shouldn't give you all the stuff right here on their tweets. The SPLC also vowed to create another category that addresses anti-Semitism in broader terms, which does not include black separatists, but also Holocaust deniers and other groups that espouse anti-Semitic propaganda. Okay, so it won't just include black separatists. They can say whatever they want because it's called selectivism. Yay! We gotta feel sorry for them. Yay! Hand respect. Yay! I'm sorry what happened to you many, many years ago, even though you weren't born. Yay! So, we plan to continue our work fighting hate and extremism through partnerships with community organizers and other allies on the ground. The SPLC concluded, to do this work, we must be specific, accurate, and anti-racist. But if it comes to propaganda, slander, or libel, that's okay. As long as we do our job, they'll like us anyway. So there's other stuff in here as well from the tweets. Back in December 2019, after it was revealed that two suspects connected to the fatal Jersey City kosher market attack also expressed interest in the Black Hebrew Israelite Movement, or BHI, the SPLCD noted that the organization has listed nearly 150 BHI chapters as black separatist hate groups because of their anti-white and anti-Semitic beliefs. BHI hate groups listed by the SPLC believed in black supremacy and bigotry against Caucasians, Jews, and members of the LGBTQ community. The movement is based on the black separatist theology dating to the 19th century that preaches that people of color are the true children of God and the Lord's chosen people. Jews are considered imposters. Others are deemed devils. Radicals of the BHI ideology believe that those outside the movement deserve slavery or even death. Yay! All right. So, but they're not bigots. That's okay. One for all for none, right? My, oh my, oh my. It's great because I remember I see these BHI folks around the areas, and I hear their garbage. I've been hearing about them for over 30 years. Okay, even like I remember watching them on a Richard Bay show. I just laugh at all these clowns. Okay, that's all they are, a bunch of clowns that want attention. They can't take responsibility for their own damn actions. They believe everyone but me. Defense mechanized hacks. Yep, I put them under quack groups, BHI, Ku Klux Klan, Anti-Defamation League, Richard Spencer, all these bunch of Mickey Mouse clubs, including the Southern Poverty Law Center. They're all under Charlton groups, quacks. People buy this, they're the biggest bunch of idiots in the world. You make Rodney King brilliant. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful to the man because he did make a big mistake. But may it still be forever free. Okay, so it's just insanity. It is. It's just pure insanity. They want to go after one particular group. It's a thing called recycle pus. Blame this group, that group, mock them all. Now it's the white people. And you know what? It's all the same deceptive rhetoric. Don't fall for it, folks. Nothing more than awful, stupid, lousy. And look, the Southern Poverty Law Center and the Ku Klux Klan are all the same. Okay? They're all the same, all these movements. They're pathetic, subversified organizations. I can tell you why they're trying to do this. They're trying to make money. Because the Southern Poverty Law Center has been exposed many times, and some of the leaders, including Morris D., had to resign because they're screwed. They're like sexual harassing the women that work in this particular institution. And of course, the FBI stopped relying on them because of their lies. It's just a bunch of liars, okay? That's all they are. Lying hypocrites. Every single one of them is in that organization overall. I don't have any pity for this institution whatsoever. I treat all tyrants equally. Nothing more than garbage. And if the people still follow this site like them, you are just lost puppies, out of touch, never take the initiative on exploring the real world. You want things handed to you. You wear a cowbell around your neck. Oh yeah, it's supposed to sell the baby luster. Moo! Wear a cowbell around your neck so you represent walking antimatter. I know I'm venting a little bit, folks, but I've been following these knuckleheads for almost 30 years. Never been impressed by all these movements. So I learned these things pretty damn young. I'm 52 right now. I've been learning from these people a long time. Try to con a con man. As far as I'm concerned, if people stop, don't just tell them to stick it, opt out from them, they're done. Get them where it hurts. They get funding from globalist elite into globalist hacks anyway. Another New World Order platform. Okay, that's what the Southern Poverty Law Center is. Nothing new at all. Stick it to them. Get a big middle finger and tell them, I know how to take care of my ordeals. I don't need your advice. All right, I'm gonna do one more here about Prince Whipple. Okay, from the Unsung Heroes Project. J.C. Hall did this, and he's the last one of the Unsung Heroes here. But it says here about Prince Whipple, the iconic principle. Hold on here. The iconic painting of George Washington crossing the frozen Delaware River is a great illustration of what our country was fighting for. Some see the regal general leading his men to what would eventually be a pivotal victory in the fight for independence. Others may see the plan of genius to attack unexpectedly during Christmas. What draws surprising notice is an African-American man who was on the front line of the boat. He was tirelessly breaking and removing ice from the path of the boats so the rowers would have an easier time at their task. According to William Cooper Nell, this man's name is Prince Whipple. William Cooper Nell was a publisher for the abolitionist newspaper run by Frederick Douglass called the North Star. Prince Whipple was an African royalty who was manipulated into slavery but turned out to be a war hero and a loud voice for the abolitionist movement. Prince Whipple was born in Mbao, Guyana. Compared to the average family in his village, he was considered wealthy. His parents had just welcomed home Prince's older brother from the new British colonies and were eager to send Prince to benefit the same manner. There is certainly of his birth year, but history tells us that he was put on a ship with a younger cousin at about the age of 10. He and his travel companion were forced to slavery. He sold by the captain of the ship. They were both sold in Baltimore and separate but related families in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Prince Whipple took the last name of the family that purchased him, but took the first name Prince to represent the royalty of which he was snatched. Prince never let his circumstances lead him to a bitter demeanor. He was beloved by the Whipple family, and he would be trusted with large sums of money to transport from Salem to Portsmouth. Sorry about that. He even defended the treasurer by shooting one man and pistol whipping another. The elder Whipple was a general in the Revolutionary Army and served on the Continental Congress. Prince was often by his side as he traveled the country for duty or battle. Prince Whipple fought at the battles of Saratoga and in Delaware during the War of Independence. He was also one of the 20 enslaved men who petitioned the New Hampshire legislature for freedom in 1779. His owner, General William Whipple, was a signer of the Declaration of Independence and an aide to General George Washington. History debates whether it is Prince depicted in that famous painting of General Washington and his troops crossing the Delaware. The significance is that this German painter, Emmanuel Lotzi, took the time and effort to paint a person of color into his portrait. Impact of black men and women on our liberty is inconceivable and too often overlooked. Lutz choose to forever depict a Negro by the side of one of the greatest leaders in American history, not as a servant, but as a fellow soldier. The most important question isn't what's the name of the black person in the painting. The better question is what the role did that black person and others like him play in the success of Washington's army. Also, black people at that time, were all supposed to be useless everywhere except the plantation. Why even put him in there? Could it be we should be asking some hard questions about the history that we have been taught? Like, why do we don't talk about why do we talk about the black victims and never about the black heroes? And I have to agree. There's a lot of beautiful people from all walks of life fought for liberty. Doesn't matter what their ethno background is. I don't really care about the whole 1619 thing. Yeah, it has some issues. I'm not going to refute that. But don't make it as the main objective. And many people did fight and got their freedom one way or the other. It wasn't handed to them. They earned it. That's what ethics came from, by their merits. Everyone's been suppressed one way or the other. All been the victims of tyranny. Hey, one thing about Americans, I can tell you this, folks. Ethnically speaking, we are all minorities. I don't have a British surname. Mine came from Austria-Hungary. Okay? And when I see about when they change their original names and they use the slave names, that's like taking away the heritage. I was against that. I do the same thing with the Confederate statues and monuments being taken down. To me, they're both a double wrong. We have to look at everything across the board. Look at all sides to the best of our ability. And that's why I always enjoy reading work like this by J.C. Hall. Which he's part black himself and Irish. His great-grandfather, I think his great-great-great-grandfather was named Washington French. I admire that. People don't believe in stuff getting handed to them. They want to earn it. You got a lot of folks from different backgrounds believe respect is earned, not given. That's why I'm against reparations and give them all the stuff handed to people. To me, that's counterproductive. This whole universal basic income. Gonna get people out of work. Yeah, there's a quote that even to Dr. Martin Luther King support that. I don't. And no contested that was the late great Dr. Walter Williams. Those are the people I admire. Productive, went through obstacles, stood their ground. Not a bunch of little sorry-ass kids, excuse my language, bunch of sorry people with their schlepp rock. Yeah, feel sorry for me. Me. It don't work. I seen that in my generation too. I never cared for it. I'm not a rich guy, but you know what? I've earned my stripes. I'm still here. Not saying I'm better than everybody else. We all have our faults. We take responsibility for our actions. We don't blame it on the other person. They want to do, like what the whole Southern Poverty Law Center. Focus on one particular thing, try to brainwash us. But I'll tell you this, they're all designed to fail in the long run. But the truth of the matter is, folks, we don't need them to tell us how to contemplate. That materialism, the Church of Hollywood, the demented cesspool, which is D.C., and around the world as well. The political world. The order, no, they are a bunch of lost puppies right now. They'll do anything to hurt us all, one way or the other. Don't fall for the propaganda matrix, folks. I'm not out to be trying to make misconstrued this article, this essay, but what would Mr. Prince Whipple would say? He earned it, not handed to him. We all, that's what the American heritage is about. Earn it, not given. And that will be it. I'd like to thank everyone for listening. Plus, feel free to download and share us throughout your social media networks. If you have any questions, comments, or anything interesting you want to check out, whatever you do, please send your correspondence to the Quorum. Furthermore, I'll leave the footnotes of these two articles on my speaker page. If you want to contact me, you can hit me at LookYLuck03@protonmail.com. Or if you want to email me, if you want to donate, you can hit me at paypal.me or cash.app/LookYLuck3. If you want to send your donations to J.C. Hall, Unsung Heroes Project, or the Post Millennial, that would be great. All right? All got to give people some honorable charity. All right. Once again, thank you for your time. Plus, always remember that demoniac resistance is healthy for the soul and can liberate humanity. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Keep on spreading love, and may your guardian spirits be with you.